the last shop drop, the scale it totally tipped. It's no longer organized chaos in a cute way. It's just kind of chaotic. I've been letting it just slowly get worse in the background, as I'm sure you've seen in my video, and just letting the piles do what they do best, which is just becoming bigger piles. Like, I just can't fully think or function, and everything I need is just kind of buried under other things that I don't even need anymore. And I'm sure you know how that could feel. But I'm also sure I'm not alone in this, that starting, literally just taking that first step, is the hardest part. And to be completely honest, I don't even feel like doing this. So I'm gonna bring you along with me because, one, it'll keep me accountable to actually doing this because I've been procrastinating it, and two, I think it'll be fun. I know there's lots of tiny things buried in here. I have old polymer clay creations, prototypes, worry stones that I did a long time ago. Some of the worry stones that I think I actually first made are in here. I also have polymer clay creations when I first started my company, even stuff that I made back when this was all just a hobby, before I even started my business, before I even knew I'd start a business. We'll also go through like my tools and supplies. I have stuff from markets that I did down here, old UV resin stuff that I have. Hopefully this is fun. You get a little glimpse into my life. But before we dive in, also, hi, I'm Emma, if we haven't crossed paths before, and I run a small handmade polymer clay fidget company out of this small part of my Brooklyn apartment. It is my full-time job, which I feel very grateful to say. So that being said, it's pretty important that I get my life together with this and I get everything organized and ready, especially because I have my next shop drop coming up, which will be on May 2nd. So yeah, it's time. No more procrastinating. First things first, I think I actually want to take this giant AC out of the room. It got really warm for a few days last week. It ended up being like a fake spring, and I felt so silly putting the AC in because it's mid-April. But I talked to all my friends, even went to like Trader Joe's, and the cashier even was talking about how he had to put his AC in. So we were all it was a weird fake summer, but now it's cold and the heat's on in our building, and according to the weather, we're not gonna have more hot days for at least a few weeks. So I think I might just take that out first, clear up some floor space, and then we can get to the decluttering. So I have to say that I am a firm believer that you don't need to have it all together in order to do what you want in life, so your passions, your hobbies. I think a lot of times you actually have to sacrifice certain things, like maybe having a clean place or, I don't know, doing something else in order to like make your dreams, your passions come true, because we only have so much time. We only have so many resources. And I think right now I might start back here with this bookcase. This is definitely probably one of the messiest parts of my little office. And really, it's not working. It's not serving any kind of function. This printer up here, that is completely dead. That doesn't work anymore. I have another printer down here actually that does work. Although, to be honest, it's not that best of printer. If you have good printer recommendations, let me know. We're gonna dive in. Maybe I'm gonna try to move my desk over a little bit so we can really get in there. I don't know if this is gonna really work, because I also have, maybe if I just shimmy. It's working. This is probably ridiculous, but you know, we've committed now. These are a bunch of old clay creations of mine. These go there. This is a big box of clay, which we will organize. This is the electric motor for my clay conditioner here, if I want to use it, but it sounds like a vacuum and it's really loud, so I don't use it very often, to be honest. Another box of clay. This is just an empty box. Oh, more Q-tips. I didn't realize I had a thing of Q-tips. I bought more Q-tips already, thinking I went through all these, so that's a win. And then in here I also have some of my dollhouse furniture that I use for my little product photos. This is a mirror that I got for markets back when I was, there you are, back when I was doing markets, because I used to do some jewelry, so people want to try on the jewelry, the earrings, I wanted them to be able to see what they look like. By the way, I have so many people all the time asking what the blue squares are that I sculpt on, and it's just a silicone mat. This one's still in the packaging, it's a new one I got. But I just get blue baking silicone mats. I'll try to link these in my Amazon storefront. I think I got them on Amazon. But that's it, so definitely keeping this. Okay, so it is just a teeny bit later, not too much later. Bookcase is cleared off. That's just the Cricut there, and then I have a couple plants. So what I'd love to actually do is the bottom shelf down here, I have UV resin stuff down here, and then I have market things in that bigger box. And I actually kind of want to declutter and maybe minimalize that stuff a little bit because I'm not currently doing any markets and I'm not glazing my pieces anymore. I mean, I want to keep the glaze, but I just don't need maybe everything. And then I want to put that on the bottom shelf over here in the bookcase. Then do with this spot under here is I'd love to put excess packing material. This is just packing stuff. I have so many boxes here under my desk, and I would love to be able to get that out of there. And I don't quite know what I'm gonna do with everything else, but I do know that I would love, if possible, to have all my unused clay on the second to bottom shelf, and then on the very top shelf, keep that mainly clear. So that way I can use that top shelf as kind of like a desk extension. I don't know how it's all gonna work. I feel like it doesn't look too bad on the camera. I kind of just want to reorganize everything, move it around so that it's just a little bit more accessible to get the things that I'm using all the time, and not have 1,000,002 boxes just sitting next to my desk. Maybe we go through and organize this clay. I have this box of clay here, more clay under here, and then I also have this box of some clay. And then tomorrow I should be getting another box of clay in the mail because I need more translucent, and I also am just stocking up on a lot of the colors that I use a lot to make sure I just don't run out. I love to have an excess of clay on hand now so that I always have what I need, and I don't have to at the last minute be like, I don't have enough clay, and then I have to run out to the store. And sometimes the art store I like to go to is not always very well stocked, and then they don't have what I need, and I have to go to a further away art store, and it takes a long time. So I just try to avoid that. So let's organize clay and see if we can get it nice and concise and pretty over on that shelf. Okay, wow, this shelf, it is looking So aesthetic. I think the next thing is we are going to dive down into these boxes under here. I'm gonna clear out a little space here and I will show you some of the stuff I have for markets and UV resin. Maybe that's fun. Hi, honey. You feeling nervous? It's okay, we're not moving. I'm just reorganizing. My dog hates whenever we declutter or organize anything. She thinks we're gonna like move or something and it stresses her out. It's okay, Bubs. Yeah, it's okay. Hi. Okay, so this is a box of stuff I have that I took to markets before. I don't think I necessarily need all of it, so let's see if we can declutter and downsize at least some of it, maybe into like a smaller box. A bunch of, well, this is a sheet that I got to put over my booth if I'm like leaving things out overnight. A random table runner, a white tablecloth, a blue tablecloth. I think I'm gonna donate these two. I just got the white tablecloth first and then decided I wanted a colorful one. So we're gonna donate those. Business cards. Although I'd probably make new business cards, but I should still keep those. My tap and chip, although this is actually just the box, my actual card reader is elsewhere. Do I even need to keep this box? But I will recycle that. Okay, now here's a bunch of just bags of different sizes. I honestly don't really feel like I need these because even at the market I always ask people, do you want a bag? And everyone's always like, no, because I put everything in like small glassine bags anyways. And they're just taking up a lot of space. I could donate these. I'll obviously take out the ones if they have my stickers on it. Maybe I'll just keep a few and donate the rest? Question mark? I'll put it over here for now. I have a little jewelry display, this little keychain display. I have two of these actually. I got another one in case I ever did another market so I could have two of them. Although I never actually ended up doing another market since then because online sales have been great. Thank y'all so much. I think if you want this though, I'm pretty sure I linked it on my Amazon storefront if you're curious about it. But these I'm definitely keeping because these are amazing. To display my worry stones and just two giant cork boards. I also got all this in raw wood thinking that if I continued doing a lot of markets that I would paint these. Some string. I don't know why I have this in here. Put this in the craft bin too. And then just a little tiny chair. Okay, let's see if we can put this in a smaller. Well, I have these. I wonder if things will fit in the smaller U-line box. I got a bunch of little shopping carts so I can use them around, not shopping carts, shopping baskets so that I could use them on my little display, but I obviously don't need so many. So I'm gonna just keep a few of these and then donate the rest of them. And this, I'm not gonna roll it. This is a big banner, a sign with my shop logo on it. Again, I feel like I'd revamp a lot of this if I was to do market again because this was all quite a while ago. It served its purpose when I needed it. This box is too tall to fit into there, and so I think I might honestly take, ooh, the big display stands out, wrap them in like a garbage bag so they stay clean, and then pop it behind my bookshelf because there's like some room between the bookshelf and the wall. And then hopefully this will then fit. Let's see. Squeeze. Yeah, look at that. I'm just curious to see if my UV resin stuff will even fit down here. The UV light I liked to use, and I think it might just fit perfectly over here. But I do have to find a space for these things. should work. So this is definitely going to be a 2-day project. It's already 7 o'clock and I just took a little 15-minute break. I sat down on the couch and then my dog got on my lap and then she fell asleep and she was snoring and then I was sitting there for a bit and I started to get sleepy and I am also hungry for dinner. But first, UV resin stuff. This rack, which I would normally put on top of my UV light because it's kind of like a circle and I can hang my items from it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what this is for. Also with UV resin, you need proper PPE. So I have some gloves here and I also have a respirator mask. The fumes that are given off by UV resin, I use the one from Mr. Resin. Oh, here's this proper side. The UV resin that I like to use, it's more expensive than some other ones, but I also think it works really well. It is odorless, but any resin, when it's curing, it gives off fumes that can make you feel sick, give you headaches, and over time can also just get worse if you expose yourself to the fumes. So that's also one of the reasons why I don't glaze anymore. I also personally just prefer the texture of polymer clay as is. When it comes to worry stones and fidget toys and stuff, I don't love the feel of resin as much. Personally, that's personal opinion, and also just health reasons. Like I said, I work in a small space and I work in my home and I don't want to subject myself or my dog or my wife to the fumes of UV resin, especially when I'm making so many items. So that's why I don't really use it anymore. But I still keep all this stuff, so occasionally if I want to glaze something, I still have the option, but kind of in the past. But yeah, always use your PPE, people, if you're gonna use UV resin and be in a well-ventilated area. This is an old, oh my God, UV light that I would use initially. It's like a Mr. Resin one. I got this really cheap when I first started doing polymer clay before I got that bigger UV light I showed you earlier. I'm honestly gonna just throw this away because it's kind of broken and it doesn't really work. So that's just gonna go in the trash. Oh my gosh, I feel like I should put gloves on and put in here. This is a mess. I have, oh my God, a brush in here and then just little pieces of cardboard stuff. Because normally when I would do keychains, I would get, this is a big stack, I'd get one little piece of cardboard and I'd put some tape on it and I'd hold the cardboard so that I could glaze around the keychain. See, there's some UV resin that even leaked on this box. I'm honestly just gonna throw all this away because this is a mess. There's UV resin on it. I don't want to touch any of it. I will keep this one. Let's see, and I'll keep these 2 brushes because I need some brushes if I need to glaze. But well, that was pretty easy. Oh, is it still recording? Oops. I didn't realize you're still recording. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, good morning. Well, I guess it's afternoon at this point. It is the next day. It is day 2 of decluttering. Last night I just recycled those boxes, but this desk back here, still pretty messy and I haven't even touched anything over here. So we have a fair amount of work to do. It is a gray day today. I have been waiting to film because the sun said it was supposed to come out. It was like, it's gonna come out at 3 o'clock, and then it's gonna come out at 4 o'clock, and now the weather's like, the sun will come out at 5 o'clock, and I just don't trust anymore. I don't know if we're gonna get any sun. It is right now 2:51. I think honestly my first order of business is I want to finish this part behind me back here because I also do need to film some short form content today because I need to share some of the prototypes for my shop drop because I'm about a week and a half away from my shop drop and I still got a lot of things I need to film and post so everyone knows what's happening and what I'm gonna be doing. And also I wanna make sure I get the prototype shared soon enough so if anyone's like, ooh, what if you did this instead? If anyone has a brilliant idea, then I can incorporate it before locking in all the designs. So that's what we're gonna do. I know I said we're gonna go through all of my fun little old previous creations, and I promise that we will. I have them on here. I specifically want to go through this little one because it has some of my OG worry stones in it, but I do think I need to prioritize cleaning first. But this will be later in the video. No guarantees. I'm going to try to include actual chapters and timestamps below, so that way also if you're like, I just want to go see this part of it, I just want to see what it looks like at the end, or I just want to see your little creations, that you can just hop around in the video as you would like to. I feel a little scattered today, if you cannot tell, but we're gonna have a good day. Oh, I also forgot, this is also all full of clay creations to this thing, and I also want to kind of maybe find some better storage for them. I don't know. We have a lot to do today. I am excited. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna focus on cleaning off this desk so then I can at least film short form and do some more prototyping later, even if I don't get the whole studio reset completely done. I might end up actually pushing back till tomorrow because I do have like other work and just life responsibilities. I didn't necessarily put aside one full day to declutter. I maybe should have done that, but instead I'm kind of setting aside like a handful of hours across multiple days. And it's working, you know, I gotta figure it out. I mean, I've been delaying doing this whole studio reset for a while now, and I figured this is the way that I can just do it. And then today I'm also just super cozy in my little fit. I got my slippers on because it's cold, the heat's on. I'm rambling because I'm procrastinating because I don't want to clean. I thought I would get into the flow when I started cleaning. And yeah, the flow, it never really happened. I just don't feel like doing this still, but that's okay. Sometimes there's small little things in life like this where if I'm not over the moon to do it, that's fine. There's just things in life we sometimes gotta do. What a joy. My clay little caddy is definitely very, very messy. This is basically where I store any clay that is already opened. It's not entirely airtight container, but it's more airtight than just leaving it out. And polymer clay, it's not like air dry clay. It's not gonna like dry out if you leave it out for a few days. But if you have open clay sitting out for a while, it can just get kind of dry and crumbly and it's more likely to crack when you bake it. And so it's good to just kind of store any opened clay somewhere. But you can, if you have old clay you want to revive, you can get, is this it? Yeah, you can get, this is the one for Sculpey because I use Sculpey clay, a clay softener, and you can basically just add 1 or 2 drops, a lot goes a long way, to your clay, massage it in, condition it in, and then your clay will basically be as good as new. If I have a big block of clay that's really dried out, I don't tend to honestly go through the process of doing this because it can take some time and be a little messy, but it's good to have on hand if needed. I should probably at some point actually clean this out. It's working for now. I'm gonna leave this for another day, to be completely honest. Hi, baby. How was your walk? Good. Hi.
Trying to eat everything.
That's true.
Practice trying to like be chill and trust that she wasn't always just trying to eat stuff.
That makes sense.
Oh my god! Are you filming?
Yeah.
Well, tell them all about me sniffing.
Oh my gosh, she's doing so good in her walkies. Oh, Paige, did you want your lunch foods now?
Yes.
Should we get your lunch foods? Okay, come on. Let's go get them. Let's go get them. Close. The keychains that I use, I get them in sets like this. So I always have to quality check them, and normally in every single pack, I believe there's 20 in a pack. There's always some that aren't good, so I just have like random leftover ones that are like broken. I also bought all these more too. Ah. Okay, I officially consolidated all of the ones that we can actually use for the open packages into one open package instead of like 5, and then we have 2 unopened ones. I recently got this new tripod. I honestly really love it. It looks like this when it's all small, but it expands both here and then on the legs to be like super, super tall. I like it, I recommend. I don't need the box. It's my little travel clay caddy. I haven't actually traveled with clay lately though, so I don't know if I need it. I might use it for something else. Maybe I'll put my old pieces in here. Maybe we can organize them. I don't know. Empty box. Goodbye. This is my old packaging a while ago. This is what I used to do before the glassine bags, and I used to ship them off in bubble mailers. I don't use any of this anymore. I'm definitely gonna keep this little box though, because that's just cute and nostalgic, and it has some tissue paper inside. So back here, there's honestly a lot of things that I like don't even need anymore. These were the old boxes I used to do my worry stones in, and I still have a box of a good amount of them, and I don't want to just like get rid of this. What if I want these one day? I think I might keep them, but just, you know, as you grow and evolve and you change and you try out different things, oftentimes you end up just having excess of old things you used to use because you've learned a better system or just decide to change things up for whatever reason. I also have like some bubble mailers left that I used to use that, again, I don't want to get rid of, and also I could use them for something else in the future, so I'm going to keep them somewhere. But just, you accumulate so much stuff. So much stuff. I don't even like know what's in these boxes. This is, oh my gosh. It is more random prototypes, and I think these are business cards. Well, I'm glad I didn't go through polymer clay stuff yet because I found a whole nother jackpot. It's also some of like my worry stones that I made. Like I had a batch of otters that had a bunch of cracks in them. I think same with this. Yeah, I had like a kitty that got like all lumpy in the middle. Yeah, and just like misfits and stuff in here. Random prototypes. Oh my God, back when I did a snail. This was a prototype, my little apple bear. Oh, some old phone charms. I'm gonna keep that up. Randomly I have washi tape in here. I don't even know. Okay, last mystery box. I think this might just be a box of random boxes. I have some random bubble mailers back when I did some journals and need some bigger ones. And then, yeah, these are just bigger boxes. I think they're all just, yeah, okay. I'll keep those because I might need a bigger box, and maybe I'll just put these and the other bubble mailers back in here. We're making good progress. Down here, this pile, it is largely recycling. Some of it is trash. I'm gonna deal with that. And then I think the last main thing to do is my desk over here. So, we're so close, we're so close. So it is officially day 3. We had a 3-day project. Well, kind of. I did technically finish my office except for the polymer clay stuff yesterday. So we're gonna go through that really quick, and then I'll show you the final the final reveal. Also, I like low-key never wear skirts. It kind of makes me feel like too much of a girl, but I feel like this skirt is the perfect amount of like almost just slightly not girly enough for something about it, this linen skirt, that I am obsessed. And it's just so comfortable wearing skirts, and I just love that I found a skirt finally that I feel comfortable with. But of course I'm like pairing with like a bunch of baggy other non-girl clothes because, you know, it's all about that balance. Okay, it is officially time to go through all of these clay creations. Oh, and I also did get a letter from a subscriber, Leighton. They reached out to me asking if they could send some art to me, which I'm so honored. Where do we start? Let's start with this. I literally never expect anyone to send me mail, and it's always so sweet whenever someone does. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Ooh. Aww. They sent. Also, I think their pronouns are they, them. I'm just gonna stick with that because I don't want to accidentally misgender them. But they sent me this art that they did, which is just so beautiful. And it says for Tiny Blue. And then also, this is just amazing and also hilarious, and I love it. They said they're enjoying their worry stones, and also that they found me on YouTube and subscribed, and that feel free to share this on my channel if I choose. I choose to. If anyone wants to follow them, here is their Instagram account. Go support them. I love supporting artists. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Leighton. This is literally beautiful. I gotta figure out where to put this. Going up somewhere. Thank you so much. And now I believe it's officially time to go through all of this polymer clay stuff and see what we got, see what we find. This is stuff from over years. Now this is the one that I think I'm most excited to go through because, see if I can do this one-handed. This includes all of the worry stones I made before I sold them. So these are all like the OG worry stone prototypes. And looking at them, I'm like, wow, I have grown so much. I can't believe it. Well, I kept Pastel Kitty around for a long time, but this was the initial prototype of Pastel Kitty. It's so much smaller. And the ears, I'm sure these ears, the way I attached them, would have broken off because they're not attached well enough. I prototyped other little kitties as well. Oh, I also did, oh my god, this one is teeny tiny. And then here are some of the other worry stone prototypes that I did. I did two little bunnies. And again, I didn't put wire in the ears. I actually tested these out and I was like, yep, the ears break. And so I figured out how to put wire in the ears and I did the bunnies. And then these, if you don't remember, this is Florence. She was like the OG character that I started my shop with. And then Headphone Buddy, AKA Frances, who you saw actually in a keychain version earlier. Where did I put her? I initially made Headphone Buddy as this keychain, which I showed you earlier. And then this was my very first prototype of it as a worry stone. But like, here's the difference between the two. That is like actually pretty cool. I mean, to literally go from like this to then making something like this, and this was even back in the fall, like this was a long time ago, so it's pretty cool to see your growth. Keep your stuff. One thing I do regret actually is then once my shop picked up, which I'm so grateful for, I became overwhelmed, so a lot of the prototypes and a lot of the other original things that I had early on, I ended up selling because I didn't have enough stock, which is kind of sad that I don't have them to look back on, but I mean, I have pictures, so it's okay. But I have a lot of other random things in here. Oh my gosh, here's a prototype I did. If you've been around for a while, you would have seen all of these, of a turtle, had a spiral back, and I put like a little piece of lettuce on its belly, and I do like it. I think it looks kind of derpy and not exactly how I might do a turtle, but I actually do. I mean, y'all, my YouTube people, you are like the people that know what's going on in my shop. And I will say, I'm not saying this anywhere else until like the time gets closer, but I do have plans for July to do an aquatic animal limited edition worry stone line, which will include a turtle, but a much more detailed advanced turtle than this. If I do a turtle, I want to do a turtle right. I might do a little rapid fire, kind of go through, show you these things now. And then if anyone's interested, we could do like a deeper dive into this in like another video, but this is a lot of stuff. And I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm gonna just quickly show you what we got. Here are some of these earlier prototypes. And here I have some random prototypes. We have a penguin. This is from my winter Christmas line. I had a little Kwanzaa kitty. And again, a lot of these prototypes I ended up selling, so I don't have a lot of the OG ones. Here's a little penguin that I did for the mini mystery box. The little Arctic fox. I love this one. The texture is so good. In this box, we have so much stuff. We have random prototypes. This was a misfit. It had a big crack in it. Other little misfits and prototypes. Oh, this is a prototype that I made, but I never ended up showing it. But this is one I made for the technically would have been the last drop, a little lily pad one, but it's like all swirly and pretty. Maybe we can bring this back later. I don't know, let me know if you like it. Some stickers that I used to make. I don't know, should I make more stickers? I haven't made stickers in a while. And then here is a lot of Florence. Oh my gosh, Florence and her little cloud sweater. I love this one. Oh my god, any OGs remember the fruit backpack phase? This is what I literally started my shop with, was these little keychains. These were the OGs. These were a couple worry stones I did for a commission for my older brother and his wife. This is a little thing that I made way before I even started my company. I think is one of like the first polymer clay things I did again when I got back into doing polymer clay as an adult. Also, it's a little dusty, but any OGs remember this one? Oh my god, this was in the video that like on YouTube first went big, that like actually grew my channel. I made this little Florence and a little chili pepper cup. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. Here you can kind of see the difference between where I started and where I went. And then I don't really know what's in here. I think it's a bunch of old Florence designs that I never ended up selling. We had some fruit backpacks in here. This was a Christmas ornament that I made my first year of my business. Here's a bunch of little fruit charms that I made for like earrings and phone charms and other stuff, which by the way, I'm so excited to be bringing like fruit and stuff back to my shop right now. It feels so nostalgic. Here are a bunch of earrings that I made initially that just never sold. Oh my god, here's some OG worry stones. I had some Florence worry stones, some old Foxy worry stones, an OG little bunny worry stone. These are all things that I made but just I never sold. And then in here is just a bunch of random different little old prototypes and misfits, and I don't even entirely know what. This is the OG, the very first Funfetti seal that I made. It's kind of lopsided and wonky, but so cute. Oh, I love the Funfetti seals. As I'm looking back on all of these old creations, especially the stuff that I like made initially for my company that just never ended up selling, it's definitely very nostalgic for me, but also shows me how much I've grown as not just like an artist, but as a business owner. And when I look back at this, I think one of the biggest reflections that I have is that when I first started making art, I didn't know entirely what to make for my business. I was just making the things that I liked and the things I found cute, and I was trying to create this new character, but people didn't know me. And I have so many thoughts on what I've learned throughout this journey, especially going from just making the art that I would make as a hobby to then learning to make the art that I make now as a business owner. I feel like I've had so many mindset shifts about what it means to be an artist, specifically when you're doing a business. And I don't want this video to get too long, so I'm not gonna dive too much into it. But I do think there's an element of, yes, make the art that you love, but you also need to make the art that people find value in, that they want in their life, that they love. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing the whole prototyping series with everyone for every drop, because genuinely, I mean, I'm not gonna make something that I don't like, but I genuinely want to also make things that are gonna bring joy to other people's life, the things that they want to bring into their life, and really just focusing on what value can I add to people's life through the things that I make. And my dog is barking because my wife's getting home. So I'm gonna go eat lunch and I will do the little after tour of the office after I eat. Hi, baby. it is now officially finished. I officially have a desk back over here without a million boxes under here, so I can actually do computer work and pack in peace, which feels so good. And then over here, I have a nice, actually calming studio space. And now that I also have a nice place to work, I think I'm gonna finally stop procrastinating and finally do a much requested and long-awaited video, which is gonna be like an all about polymer clay 101, Q&A kind of video. I already have a bit of a list of questions. They're just like frequently asked all the time that I'm gonna make sure I answer. But also I wanna know, what do you want to know about polymer clay? Let me know below and I'll make sure to answer that in what I think will be the next video. And with that, I think we're officially at the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope it was a nice little break, a nice little reprieve in your week. And I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Bye, friends.